Shots fired on the rooftop. An assault in progress at Acer Plaza. Repeat, an assault in progress. It's a war zone down here. 1085 dispatcher, need additional units. Additional units now. Officer in danger. Officer in danger.
10-5, please repeat. 10-5, all units, emergency. Officer in danger, Acer Plaza, repeat. Acer Plaza, all units.
They were all dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger. And then it was over.
And then it was over. Max Payne. The name strikes fear in the hearts of mafiosos in Noir York City, as he calls it. Franchise was so amazing, and it was on such a roll. So why did it die out? And don't blame the movie. Why am I in black and white? I know noir means black. Fuck that shit. Okay, for those of you not in the know, Max Payne is a third-person shooter that had a great freaking storyline. No pre-rendered cutscenes like most games. They use progressive graphic novel panels with pretty decent voice acting. It was actually pretty good. And wait, before you all say that, you know, why not just use pre-rendered cutscenes like most games? You know, they're just too lazy. They show panel by panel without any effort. All they do is just show photos. I think it adds to the atmosphere. There was never a game that had this kind of film noir genre to it, and I thought they pulled it off really well. The voice acting was really somber, especially I can't remember the name of the actor who did the voice acting for Max Payne, but the voice really worked. His voice was really deep, very somber. His tone was really good, and it created that atmosphere.
No, God, no, please, Michelle. Oh, baby.
And you just wanted to kill and shoot down every son of a bitch in bullet time. The gameplay is simple, very straight to the point. You can just pick it up and play it. You didn't have to be a hardcore gamer to just go into it and learn the mechanics of the gameplay, the shooting. Bullet time is only one button. Okay, the first Max Payne was developed by Remedy Entertainment for the PC. It was originally meant for the PC, and it was published by this company called The Gathering of Developers, aka God. And then I think a year later, no, same year, Max Payne released on the original Xbox, the PS2, and Game Boy Advance, done by Rockstar. And that's when Rockstar started getting their hands on it, and it was also published by Rockstar for the PS2, Game Boy, and Xbox ports. So initially this game had nothing to do with Rockstar, and then for the console ports, Remedy decided to get Rockstar because I don't know why. The second game, it was also developed by Remedy. The difference is Gathering of Developers suddenly disappeared and Rockstar Games became the publisher for Max Payne 2, which I am not going to complain much about because the graphics, the gameplay, and the overall feel of it, it improved a lot. Rockstar are amazing game developers. They have never made a bad game. I know they have a lot of games on their rosters, but most of the big games they've developed have never failed. For example, the Red Dead series, Grand Theft Auto series. Right now they're doing stuff with sports right now. But overall, Rockstar has never made a bad game. What I'm afraid of is, well, I'm not afraid of, but what they always do is they take old successful franchises or franchises that already exist or are already pre-written, and then they make it their own. Like, for example, like I've mentioned, Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead series. It became from a vengeance noir film to a noir love story. It's really kind of complicating, because for the first game, all they had to do was focus on one thing. That main plot was revenge. But this time, it's to do with love, and also to do with revenge from someone. It's not really revenge, but I haven't played this game in a while, so I can't remember. It had style, it had flair, it had all the elements from the first game and more. The graphics were really good for something developed in that era. But, you know, the storyline just fell flat, and it was really too short. It was at least 50% shorter than the first game. I don't know if it's because I enjoyed it a lot, but it just felt really short to me. Max Payne 2 was released in 2003, which is 2 years. 2 years after the first Max Payne released. And the ending of Max Payne 2, there were two endings. The first one, Max's love interest died, but if you complete the game in the hardest mode, she survives. So the last Max Payne game was in 2003. It is now 2011. It has been 8 years since Max Payne 2, and I think somewhere in 2008 or 2007 it was slated for release. Done totally by Rockstar. It's developed by Rockstar, published by Rockstar. Remedy has nothing to do with it anymore, and yeah, it's totally Rockstar's baby now. So Rockstar has been giving out screenshots from the game, and there's only about 14 or 15. The first thing that pops when you see the screenshots is that it looks like any other shooter nowadays. It looks like any other third-person shooter. It could as well be Uncharted. It's bright. Has Rockstar destroyed Max Payne? Is the franchise really dead? Is it going to be a bad revamp? Is this going to be Rockstar's first mistake? Are they realizing it now, which is why they keep pushing the date? Because it was first slated release 2009, it's now 2011, it's 2 years later. According to Rockstar's Sam Houser, they're starting a new chapter in Max's life with the game. This is Max as we've never seen him before, a few years older, more world-weary, and cynical than ever. Since the last game, the press release states Max has left New York City behind and has drifted from bad to worse. The press then goes on to say Max has been double-crossed in this new city, and he is searching for the truth and the way out. The game will be set in Sao Paulo, where Payne is working in the private security sector for a wealthy local family, set 12 years after the events of the second game. So that's all we know about Max Payne 3. It's now slated for release on my birthday, the 1st of August this year. And from what I can see so far, I highly doubt that it's going to be released this year. I mean, come on, Duke Nukem Forever, right? The first trailer came out in fucking 1998. It was 13 years ago, and it's only going to be released this year. And even then, they keep pushing the date. I won't be waiting with bated breath. This could be pushed 1 year, 2 years, or it could as well be Duke Nukem Forever. Even though we have screenshots, Duke Nukem Forever had a trailer, and it took them 13 years to release a new one. Honestly, I cannot wait for Max Payne 3. I think this is a good franchise. It has a good, solid, you know, it's strong. 1 and 2 was really good. It was well received. It's a really good franchise and it can be built on that. I trust Rockstar. I want to hope that they don't mess this up, because if they do, then it'll be one of the first, not one of the first, it'll be the first franchise that they destroy. You know, but seeing as they did Max Payne 2 and they know what Max Payne is about, they know what the character is, what it's supposed to be like, I highly doubt they're gonna mess it up. But from the screenshots, it kind of reminds me of Kane and Lynch, Dead Men. Because, well, let's face it, Max Payne does look like Kane right now, except for this sans the scar. Oh, actually, he does have a scar. I don't know. So, I'm waiting.
No!